first couple of tones to Inspector Gadget.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that how we're?
Anything wrong with that?
I mean, you can't just do that and then not roll into the other big part of the introduction to Inspector Gadget.
I'm gonna get you, Gadget. I'll get you, Gadget.
Claw was great.
Professor Claw, my hero.
Can we take that again? But this time, everybody says, "Welcome to the Planet Destiny podcast."
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Countdown slowly. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Planet Destiny podcast.
And just like that, you've stepped through time back into the 1980s, where comic books and action figures are all the rage. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 286 of the Planet Destiny podcast. And we are back once again to talk about all the things going on in the wonderful world of Destiny. And sometimes all the things not going on in the wonderful world of Destiny. There's a whole lot of that, too. Joining us this week, we've got our usuals. Mr. Dan Finity is here.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hello, good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. How you been this week?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Been playing a lot of video games, so that's nice. Oh, it's always nice. Yeah, when you actually get to play some video games. But of course, I am the Black Link, and joining us this week, we have a very special guest. Shy, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm actually doing as good as can be. Got a few souls. Saw a lot of things. Pain, suffering, the usual.
Yeah, I mean, well, life as a demon / AI. I'm not exactly sure. So, does Hell still use floppy disks? Because, it's kind of like
Hell is floppy disks.
Yeah, it's like a lawnmower man sort of thing, Pain is pleasure, pleasure is pain, and all that kind of stuff. So I'd imagine like all the technology in Hell is just data stored on floppy disks because that's just the most painful way to do it.
Well, that all depends on what level of Hell you're on.
Oh, right.
There
are different levels.
I'm on level 7. I'm good. Great Wi-Fi. We're all highline. I'm using the souls of others to power my internet, but that's something else.
Right.
Don't worry about that.
Right. I'd like to imagine the 7th level of Hell. You get there, it's like, oh, finally, we're into the nice stuff. This is where all the, special adult parties are happening and all that kind of stuff. All I got to do is log into the Wi-Fi, and then the way they stick you is they don't tell you the password to the Wi-Fi.
Or
it's like you get there.
Oh, no.
But you
they
don't
do, and it's just all pop-ups.
Oh, no.
It's worse. It's actually far worse. They tell you get access, but literally, they're actually stabbing you over and over again, saying,
"That's the access.
Welcome to the fun."
That's pretty worse. That's fairly worse. Yeah, you're right.
And here I was complaining about Spectrum.
Thanks, Cox. Anyways.
Thank you, corporate overlords. I'll never complain again. But welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. And of course, whenever we start these shows off, we like to give an opportunity for our guests to introduce themselves to the audience. For those out there who maybe aren't so acquainted with you, why don't you take the moment to tell everybody who you are and what it is you do?
Sounds good. Hello, everybody. My name is Shy, the demonic AI. I enjoy an assortment of things. Mainly, sacrificing friends.
Yep.
Making people scream pain.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping that everything goes for the best, but then at the exact same time, trolling people, killing them, whispering sweet nothing, as they say, blame Shy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's fun. I play Destiny, Friday Night Funkin', and a whole other list of games. Way too many games. But, the best part is having fun with all of you and hear your screams of terror. I mean, what? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
Well,
I didn't do anything.
You got me thinking about some things. You're like, you play Destiny and you're all about torturing souls. What does that say about playing Destiny?
No.
Oof.
No.
God damn it.
It's worse.
God damn it, TBL.
Well,
Blink, blink. Imagine, it's your first time doing any dungeon.
Yes.
You don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And then somebody says, "Hi, my name is Shy. I'm a Sherpa. I'm going to take you on an adventure." And then, and then, you see the worst adventure you've ever had. Multiple sacrifice. Multiple
That's-
pain and suffering.
That's how I met
Screams of
you.
terror. I know, right?
Yeah, I met. So
It's great.
Shy is kind of a longtime friend of mine. we've been playing together since last March, occasionally off and on.
Okay.
And like we were part of the 102 Anarchy challenge. Shy helped like show me the ropes on a lot of that. And Shy's one of my favorite creators in the space. Not often in Destiny 2 do you have do we have someone who is a VTuber, right? I think there are only a handful. What led you down this path?
Honestly, being anonymous
Yeah.
actually helps.
Yeah.
No. They can't hunt you down if they don't know what you look like. I mean, if you kill somebody and they
Yeah.
wish nothing but pain and suffering, but the thing is, you can't see me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I want you to see. And in some cases, it's cute, it's adorable. In other cases, though, in other cases, I'm going to cut you.
Oh my god. I think that's the first time a knife has been brandished on our stream.
We're just breaking through all sorts of glass ceilings here.
You know what? I'm here for it. Let's go.
I'm down with it. And it's actually rather fascinating to me because the entire market of VTubers has really kind of exploded over the last year to the point where if you look at live content on all sorts of streaming platforms, VTubers are at the top of almost all of it. And it's such an incredible market that I never would have thought would have been a thing, 5-6 years ago. With being able to mocap and kind of animate a virtual avatar to save my anonymity, which I would have loved about 5 or 6 years ago. so I mean, how did you get started in that?
Honestly, it all started with, well, it's YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube's a reason. I'm going to blame YouTube for a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
Because for a lot of VTubers, they saw one person,
Yep.
and then it just slowly escalated from there. For most people, they might have saw, actually, for Westerners, I'll go with this one. You know that orange, that weird orange?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was on Saturday Night Live or something. People use that one as an example. They're like, he's 3D. He speaks.
Yeah.
When's that could be like that? And then people started looking into that. In my case, it was more of the Eastern side.
Yeah.
Things like Hololive and from there.
Exactly.
And I was like,
yeah.
okay, it's cool. Now, question is, how hard is it to design your own?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And in some cases, it can take you maybe a week. That's if you're really good. Or in some cases, half a year. Hi.
I couldn't imagine the frustrations of trying to figure out the proper rigging and then the motion tracking and capping that goes into that. There's a buddy of mine is a VTuber. He goes by the name Hunt Artist. Mostly plays stuff like Monster Hunter and whatnot. And I remember as he was getting started into that, he's a big guy on Hololive, loves to watch more Eastern oriented streams. And I remember the process just talking to him as he was getting his avatar set up, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a cat, and I'm gonna have different outfits that I wear based on the games that I'm playing on stream. And I was like, oh, this is awesome, man. Hit me up when you finish it. Then like a month passes. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm about 1% done finishing all of that.
Yeah.
And 6 months
Like-
later, he's got everything set up and it looks great.
I could tell you right now, like when I was starting to find a new job, I was talking to a few of my friends in my Discord, and how a few of the things I was doing, I had to learn new tricks,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
having to learn Unity, having to
Oh,
learn
yeah.
C++. It was like, I'm now coding.
Welcome
do
to
things.
hell. Now I understand. Welcome to hell. As a former programmer, you had to learn C++
Pretty much.
to rig things. Object-oriented programming, baby. Welcome to hell.
Yeah. I mean, it's a joy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's because it allows you to further yourself. Like,
Yes.
just being a regular content creator is already difficult enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But being a content creator that has to learn all this scripting,
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
learn all this programming, learn how to take off clothing, put clothing back on,
Dude,
animate certain things. Like, hold on. If I can, if you can look at my eyes are also animating. Like,
Yeah.
I have to do that. Like, I had to learn so much, and I'm still not done. This project is never going to end.
right.
Right. Because, it's kind of one of those things that's going to stretch as far as your creativity does, as far as your desire to improve it goes. And I got to say, for someone who's saying he's not done, it's amazing what you've done with this already. You have individual animation for your eyes. Of course, the what's the name? Heterochromia for the different colored eyes going on, being able to change your outfit and all of that kind of stuff, all while running green screen. In some instances, for some VTubers, variable backgrounds, variable outfits, all of that kind of stuff. It's an amount of work that I never would have put into this, to be perfectly honest, and I never would have thought to. And it's why I'm not popular.
Wow.
I'm not creative like that.
I was gonna say it's hard enough for me to like get OBS to work,
Right?
half the time, and so like seeing you Shy do this, I'm like, I don't know, man. Either I saved myself a lot of headaches, or I'm just not as talented as I like to believe.
Yeah, that's way
It can
more.
be the headache more. 'Cause- let me put it this way. Hold on. Let me see. Which key was it? I think it was this. Nope, not that one. Okay, so like just getting this to work was really taxing. Like,
Yeah.
it took me a lot of time. But hold on. No, other hand. Here we go. Like having a beam
Oh my god!
cannon.
Oh.
What?
What?
Like, I had to code. I think it was like 190 something lines.
Yeah,
Ugh. TBL,
like-
we're out of business.
it's over.
It's over. It's over.
Listen, it's.
I don't have a
watch these
laser.
types of
Do you
threads.
have a laser?
I have no laser. And this is why. It's really kind of incredible the kinds of things you can pull off with this. And there's no hope for me. There's no hope for you, Dan.
It
No.
gets worse.
The
No.
future's
it gets worse.
VTubing.
It gets worse.
Man.
Okay.
All right.
Let me get close. So, normal VTubers, they have just a face and their math. They're normal. Everything's normal.
Mhm.
Right.
But eyebrows can raise.
You're winking.
I can animate everything.
Oh my god.
Right. You're really kind of blurring the lines between a virtual performance and kind of, the normal streaming that people generally do. And I can't imagine the amount of work that goes in that. You said you created this model in Unity, right?
It was Unity plus Blender
Right.
and Block Paint and Suffer.
So Blender, you had to basically create the rigging and the bone structure for your
Yeah.
design first, import it into Unity, and then get the animations running, huh?
Oh yeah. Like
Oh my goodness.
hold on. Like let me see. Like even the tassels move
Oh my
on the
Yeah.
jacket.
Just the eye for detail there. I mean, it makes sense because you also are one of the most knowledgeable Sherpas that I know in Destiny 2. Like you have like you know the little tiny tips and tricks to get through activities. What led you to start playing Destiny? What was the impetus for helping people? Like tell us more about that side of yourself,
Okay.
Shy.
The history of Destiny would be more of the history of Halo.
Well, I mean,
Because I
your
started
history,
there.
your history
Oh
with
yeah,
it. Yeah,
I
yeah.
started there,
Gotcha.
and then Bungie was like, "New project. Oh, really? New game? New game? Where? Where?" And I started playing it, and then Vault of Glass came out,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then people were complete dicks. You must have X. Must use X. If you want to get in this raid, you gotta do this. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Right.
So when Dark Below came out, because I could not even get into a VOG raid, apparently people were being nicer with actual Crowba. And they were like, hey, you want to run? I'm like, there's actually people that want to help. What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, just stand on the glass here, have a rocket, get ready. 3, 2, 1, shoot. I was like, oh, is that easy?
Right.
Why are people such dicks? Oh, wait, can I try sword? Yeah. What? Okay. And then I started getting into the raids and experiencing it and actually having fun with it. I was like, but there's people out there that don't get this chance because
Yeah.
they're also being pushed aside.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined that clan that helped me do Crota. And then from there, we started helping other people. And it just started to snowball from there. And then I became a leader myself. And it just kept building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Helps are great. But when only people come to you because of help,
Yeah.
it's kind of sad sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like,
That can be
hi,
tough.
you got me through this run. Bye.
Hi. Thanks for the loot.
Yeah.
But stick around.
Yeah. So
I won't hurt you much.
right. You have your ways of hurting them.
Yeah.
Hand lasers, what have you. What would you say is your favorite activity that you run in Destiny? In all of Destiny?
Prior to this season, it was dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm gonna say something controversial. Breach and clear, great and all, but ruins everything.
Okay. How so?
Fair.
It makes everything so trivial that people don't really need help anymore.
Mm.
Hey, I can't get through this boss anymore. Here's an anarchy shot. You sit back and
Yeah.
watch because
Yeah.
how this drains.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. Thing that you were struggling with is no longer a problem because of a mod.
Yeah, well when Anarchy gets that slap, we'll possibly next season
mean-
we'll see some stuff.
Yeah, it's true. What will
Which-
they do to replace anarchy? What will they do to replace breach and clear?
Give us a
Or,
slap
I mean-
mechanic.
myself for that matter.
I mean,
I miss
it's really kind of odd when it comes to the anarchy situation in particular because this is a weapon that's been in the game for a while since Black Armory, and
Mhm.
it's been a top tier weapon basically since its introduction. So, but we know Bungie's had their eye on it for quite a while, but it was weird because knowing how powerful anarchy was, they still went ahead and released a bunch of mods that work specifically with grenade launchers this season. And Breach and Clear is one of them. You know, it's a mod that basically gives you, what, a 30% damage bonus against enemies that have been hit with a grenade launcher.
Oh yeah.
And you have a grenade launcher that does nothing but tick damage against a target for a small amount of time. It's really no wonder that Anarchy's become kind of like the number one option for people going through hard content. And I don't know what Bungie's going to do. They're obviously not going to change the way it works.
Right.
That leaves only the option to either cut its ammo or cut its damage.
Well, that's the thing. You can't really hurt it that badly. If they cut the ammo, people still have the armor that can put up the ammo economy, they can put up the drop
Exactly.
rate, whatever. That doesn't hurt it. If they drop the damage, then people are going to complain saying it's an exotic. Now you made it useless.
Right.
Why? All those hours grinding that one raid, trying to get the drop, gone. All because you guys couldn't balance it. It will hurt a lot of players.
It will. And that's the weird position Bungie's kind of put themselves in here with releasing a mod like Breach and Clear when they have a weapon that, you know, it fits so perfectly with. So I'm not even really sure what they should do with Anarchy. I know their goal is essentially to make it less widespread in PvE. They don't want it to be the number one option for people to just run through whenever they're doing any sort of content. Oh, just drop a couple of Anarchy shots on it and switch to a shotgun.
Yeah.
They want to move people away from it. How do they do that without destroying the weapon?
Well, it feels like they want people to be more active
Yeah.
than what Anarchy allows, right? And like what Wither Horde allows. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, yeah,
Oslo
Wither
says
Horde.
this in chat, where like cut the length between grenade tethers, or you could cut the distance that it tethers to. You could. I still think they're going to nerf it. I think. I think they're just going to take away
Oh, of
like
course.
some of the ticks.
I see what that is, but at the exact same time, I don't see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, even if they cut the length between the grenade tethers, the moment they go for a boss, you're already sitting in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
Yep.
caring about distance.
Yeah.
They nerf the damage. Woo. It's still doing damage,
Mm-hmm.
but at the exact same time, people are going to complain saying it's not enough. In my opinion, though, you can't really balance that weapon anymore. It's been too long. And
Yeah.
most of the exotics that we do have can't compare to it. You can't compete it. Unless they buff, as Gray said, unless they buff other weapons and exotics, you can't really hurt Anarchy's level of kingship.
Mm-hmm.
It's there.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, we know the the notion of Bungie buffing other exotics to catch up with an outlier literally doesn't exist.
Right.
They don't do that ever for some strange reason. Which just means to me they're gonna nerf it into the ground.
Yeah.
They're gonna absolutely
Well, I mean-
demolish it the way they've done with others in the past.
Yeah.
And that
I
bums
was
me
about to
out.
say, it's just turning into another. Oh God!
Look, we're not passing the
turning into
whiskey
another
around
whisper.
yet, so.
It's going back to a whisper mission.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
situation.
like Whisper.
Yeah.
A gun that got completely When was the last time anybody whipped out Whisper of the Worm?
You're kidding, right?
That's a joke.
When you
That's a
have
big
anything
joke.
else, why would you?
Like, it doesn't even compete with legendary snipers now.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's unfortunately the way Bungie kind of handles outlier exotics. They take them, let them, and they've even talked about this. I think Luke Smith has talked about this in prior interviews. They say sometimes when they have outliers, they'll let them sit, have their time on the top, and then shuffle them away so that other things can take the spotlight. But in my opinion, one of my least favorite aspects of Bungie sandbox balancing has been the fact that they don't ever really bring anything up to help take the spotlight away. They just kick the current king off the mountain and then shave the top off the mountain.
Right.
They're lowering the summit rather than raising anything else up. And that's
Oh, boy.
yeah,
I'm
that's
going to go on that. So the difference between D2, yeah, chat. I'm going D1 here.
I'll bring it.
The difference between D1 and D2 is D1, they did sunsetting. People
They
don't
did.
remember this.
Everybody,
did.
Mhm.
I love you. I love this demon AI. I've been saying this for years. Like, this is the first time they've sunset things. They did this in D1. They
Right.
made the
Thank
same mistake back then.
Right before Kingsfall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they sunset, well, hand cannons basically, and made it so scout
Yeah.
rifles were better. Like,
Yeah.
this is not something new.
Mhm.
But people keep making this misconception that, oh, Bungie's doing something new. It hurts this now. No, it's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
You just haven't been paying attention. This game's balancing has been an issue since D1.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There'll always be some weapon archetype that's at the top, and then they'll knock it off by literally nerfing it to the ground.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, new weapons. I love you, Bungie. Like, come on.
Yeah,
There's
they'll
a reason why that weapon's working now.
yeah, it's because the thing that was keeping it in check is now gone.
Right.
They'll knock off the top performing hand cannons by cutting their range in half,
Mhm.
and then suddenly pulse rifles are everywhere. Then they'll cut pulse rifle range in half, and suddenly auto rifles are everywhere. Then they'll cut auto rifle range in half, and it's a weird sort of cycle that they've kind of caught themselves in.
So while we're in this cycle and while we're on this conversation, did say that like before August 24th, they would be dropping some more details about sandbox and
Yes.
crossplay between now and then. And this week we kind of got a light twab, so there's not a ton to talk
Right.
about here.
This week.
But
Are you
the
sure it's not just 1 or 3 weeks or
yeah,
a month?
I think
Yeah.
like the next couple weeks we'll see more things along those lines. What is something that you want to see in the see in those notes for the sandbox for season 15?
Personally, what I want, they're not going to give me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest here. I'm sick and tired of grinding the same friggin' weapons over and over
Yeah.
again. Hey, guys, did you know? Dream City weapons are back. Hey, go do pit. Hey, go to the moon.
Yep.
But I spent months already. I got my sniper. I got my shoddy. I got this and that. Oh, wait, it was sunset? Fuck you. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't keep doing the same things
Mhm.
over and over again. It grinds my gears. Like, I torture people, but that's a whole other level.
That's
That's
the
straight
offense
up.
there.
Dick assery. You're
Yeah.
like, you're presenting your ass, and they're fucking you. That's it.
Okay, so like
You heard me.
realistically then, if they can't give you what you want, then realistically what do you see them doing?
Realistically,
Yeah.
nerfing the current archetypes,
Yep.
buffing the things that people are not using,
Yep.
rinse repeat, like they've been doing
Mhm.
for how many seasons? Like, if we take the old patch notes and
Mhm.
look at the sandbox, you'll probably see a lovely pattern. It's like, oh, this was nerfed? Okay, so we're going to flip that around in 2 seasons, and then flip the next one around in 2 seasons. That way people keep saying new weapons in Crucible, new weapons in PvE. No, it's not
Yeah.
really. Let's be honest here.
It's a
Has anybody seen a
cycle.
scout in
Nope.
PvE? Really? Like, an actual good scout that actually does like any damage?
Nope.
Yeah, I haven't like scouts haven't been meta for a while now.
I don't think they've ever been meta in D2.
There was a Mida multi-tool. There were a few weeks there.
I mean, multi-tool
That was the
broken.
PvP meta.
Let's
be
in
honest.
Year one.
Yeah,
But that was
like
that was less a problem of multi-tool being super strong and more everything about the dual primary system
Right,
being
right.
awful.
so it's like they're keeping a certain weapon type in the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scouts, we love you. We miss you dearly. Like, hand to heart, miss you. But it's never going to happen because if they actually buff scouts, where's going to happen to pulses?
Yeah. It's that weird sort of uncomfortable place that scouts are in right now where if you buff them too much they invalidate pulse rifles and hand cannons.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that that's something even Bungie's directly stated in prior TWABs, that they're afraid of buffing
Mhm.
scouts. But I I still don't think that's reason enough to leave them languishing in the awful position that they're in right now. Especially in PvE. Scouts just don't feel great in PvE. There's like maybe a handful that are worthwhile, and even the most worthwhile scout doesn't feel good next to, say, Fatebringer.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a weird
And
scenario.
it gets worse. Like, let's look at submachine guns. The king of submachine, we all know the king.
Mm-hmm.
King was Sunset. But
Yep.
ever since then, SMGs, yes, some people use them, but there are better options. Like Overload right now, SMG or hand cannon. Hand cannon with time payload versus an SMG.
Yeah.
Hand cannon's going to win
Yeah. I use explosive
because it
payload
procs it
specifically for it.
way too soon.
Yeah.
But SMG, you're like, pull the trigger, wait for it to proc. Oh God, I got 5 seconds. I can get the shot.
Right.
Overload
the
on
shot.
SMG does feel
Dead.
awful. Yeah.
And
I think that deserves more of a change to the way Overload rounds work,
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. Because
Yeah, like, I'll
you're
be
right, that feels
honest.
awful on them.
The best Overload up to this point was bows, because that's just one shot. Always pull it, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. Bungie says this is balanced or this is good. They don't look at what we want or how we see things, which is honestly, it's a bad way to look at it. Because the players play this game religiously for a lot more hours than a Bungie employee gets the opportunity to do.
Right.
Like in some places, people do this as their life. So you're putting like 7, 8 hour plus in a day. And then Bungie employee maybe gets 4 for their own time off. They don't really get to test everything to the point of, okay, if you don't have time payload, don't even fuck it. Don't fuck with this overload.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
you're wasting your time and you're gonna get somebody else killed. Like, I didn't get into the season until much later. Like, some people in chat can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hi, Jeff. Like, when we were going to Master Vogue, I didn't have a time payload hand cannon. So it was like, oh, are you sure you want to stay outside?
Yeah.
I have overload, but you don't have time payload. What? It's the same, right? No, my time
Not
payload
quite.
hits 2 times and it's done. Yours takes 4 shots. I'm like, oh, ouch.
Mm.
Oh, okay, I'll go inside. Like,
And that,
I get it.
that kind of leads me to a conversation we were having in a previous week's TWAB. In that, I think, while I can stomach the entire champion system that we have right now, I think the way the mods work should be changing sometime soon. I've never been a fan of this system that Bungie has of attempting to curate specific loadouts. We saw the start of this with like prestige raids back in the beginning of D2, where like, okay, you tried to go do a prestige raid, this week you got to have snipers and sidearms.
Mhm.
Good luck with dogs. And it's sort of the same thing here with the artifact mod system, which I like the artifact mod system. I think it's worked well for what they're trying to do here, but I don't like that every season it's like, okay, well this season you can only have overload on SMGs, or you can only have anti-barrier on scout rifles. I would love it if in the future maybe they homogenize some of those mods and made it so
Mhm.
here's primary overload or
Yeah.
energy barrier or something like that, or maybe hell, let's get a little bit crazy and say heavy weapon barrier, so you can get
Yeah.
an anti-barrier LMG.
Well-
You know, actually have some fun in there. How would you handle
Actually,
the
I have a point
champion
of that.
system?
I
Yeah,
have a point into that. This is what's weird about the champion system. When we first started Shadowkeep, we had mods that had 2 perks,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
and then we dropped down to 1. What?
Yep.
Why? Like, you had an option of SMG or hand cannon.
Yeah.
You had scout or pulse. You had options, and then
Mhm.
they removed the options. They just made it so you had one choice, which I was how they wanted to curate the runs, but it made them so boring.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that.
I, if they did a system where it was primary or secondary or heavy, I would be okay with that. The thing I don't like is how they went from, oh, I'm about to hit some people here with this one. Oh boy, I'm prepared. Hold on, horns on. Okay, so guys that love your Aeon shit.
Oh.
Yeah, you
Oof.
heard me. I loved when it has a mod. You had choice to put a mod on, and it didn't ruin your entire loadout.
Mhm.
But here, you want to get heavy? Put on an Aeon piece of shit. Yeah, you heard me, Chad. Fight.
Okay.
Like, the fact that they changed that mod from being on an artifact to being on an exotic. I get it. They wanted to bring exotics into relevancy, but not that way. That's not the way you do it.
So you would have preferred
That's-
if they kept it with like the finisher mod on or artifacts to get the guaranteed heavy?
Either artifact or be like they did with primary special. They put it as a natural mod that you could put on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they could have done that. And that would have saved us this whole here's an exotic that no one cared for.
Yeah.
Use it
And-
now. Like, I'm sorry. Even with that mod being on Aeons, I have not put them on. I have not had issue
Same.
finding
Haven't
heavy.
used them. Yep.
It's
And-
like, why? Why try to
It's-
make it relevant when
You
no
know,
one's going to use it?
it seemed like an unfortunate overreaction to the fact that nobody was using the Aeon stuff beforehand.
Mhm.
Because the Aeon set was always garbage. Especially now when basically you can make builds that give you almost the same performance when it comes to getting back your abilities and grenades and whatnot. And so that was an instance of Bungie devs, whoever the designer was for that, taking that back and saying, okay, how can I make this something appealing for people to use?
Usable.
Oh, I know. Heavy. I'll make it like a guaranteed heavy drop or special drop or
Yeah.
something like that. But we've already, kind of got some heavy ammo finders that are specialized. I think we should have the more generic ones back. But I haven't used the Aeons once since they revamped them.
Mhm. Well,
There's no real need to.
I've used them a couple of times, but there's not really a need to. More so if you just kind of like stock up on loaders and
Yeah.
like drop chances for the specific weapon that you're using for DPS or for those strategies, you don't really need to do a lot of heavy or like
Exactly.
use the Aeons for that. So are they more usable now than they were? I think
Well-
so. I just like what, but it's one of those
They're
things
better.
where why would you
Yeah.
why
I
would
just
you
say
use
this.
them over something else that has maybe a little bit more of a niche purpose
Well-
within a subclass?
Mm-hmm.
That's where my point is about coming. So, basically, it was hunters. Let's be honest here. Hunters, you were the Aeon bitches. Because if it was a
Dan,
warlock,
Hold it.
GMX.
You can't see it. I'm signing an L at you. Hold it.
Oh, you want to fight? Am I wrong though?
No, you're
If it was
right.
a warlock-
Dan's a hunter boy, and I'm laughing at
I'm
it.
just very upset. Just very upset.
I'm sorry, Dan. Dan, I love you. I really do.
I love you too, Shy. Like
Like, look into my eyes. I love you. But
I can't do it, Shy. Can't do it.
hunters were the Aeon bitches because Titans were wearing the curse.
Yep.
Mhm.
Doesn't
Warlocks,
come off.
Geomax.
Doesn't
They
come
don't
off.
come off.
That's right.
If it was a warlock and they weren't using Geos, they'll be using Lunas or anything else that was more beneficial for their abilities.
Yeah.
But the hunters, though, yeah, I'm definitely going to want you to use zombies. No. Oh, you want to
I
use
think-
Orpheus rigs? No,
Yeah, I think
we don't need them.
hunters have taken like kind of a weird backseat now.
You
Where,
really
like,
have.
Celestial isn't as good as Caress of the Falling Star.
Yep.
Tether is not good. Really, like, if you're talking about DPS options, I found that using we were going up against Atheon the other day, and I was having
Shards.
a pretty good time with Shards of Galanor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that also has the unfortunate feeling of like, oh, I'm jumping up in the air while also doing this attack, which isn't very helpful for your team that's trying to stand still and do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, it is a lot of damage. It's
Consistent damage.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, it's weird that that's the highest DPS or assistance that you can do as a hunter now.
I know why.
Hmm.
It's because of the fact that shards gives you more super energy, depending on how much damage you. So
Yeah.
golden
You're
gun
getting
is a
more
one shot.
off.
You have to wait, but with shards, you throw, you get like 50% of your back, so you're good to go very soon. Back to
Mhm.
back is really easy, but anything else, it's a waste of time.
Mm.
They
Titans,
were
they have
relegated
options.
to Aeons.
Yeah.
Titans got options.
Yeah.
They can throw fusions, or they can Paris.
Yeah.
Warlocks, if you're not well, you're Geo.
Kamehameha.
Like that's the only choice.
Mm.
And that's
Which
actually really
That's
weird
what's sad.
to think about. It's sad, and it's really weird to think about considering how much of a utility player hunters were in
Mhm.
prior years here in D2. I mean, you didn't go into back in like Last Wish, you didn't go into encounters without a tether. Back in Leviathan, you didn't do any of those encounters without tether or without some kind of hunter class doing DPS. And you guys remember, people were basically relying on Celestial Nighthawk shots to deal big damage to Riven back in the day. And just systematically, a lot of those classes, a lot of those supers, especially tether, have just been knocked down so far in their efficacy that it's weird to kind of think about now. Where, like Dan said, the preferred option is to sit there with shards of Galanor and hope you don't fall off the cliff,
Yeah.
get blown up, or land a couple of your knives on the pillar next to Atheon.
Right.
actually, I think I know why. It's just like what we were talking earlier. Weapons get cycled in and out. Hunters were really at the top. Let's be honest here.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
They
were.
could either give people supers, or they were the damage dealers. They were not one or the other. They had choices.
Yep.
Titans, they were the buffers.
Yeah.
They were straight up buffers.
Mhm.
Warlocks, hi, well,
Drop a well, keep everybody alive.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's your choice. You're well.
You're the mercy.
But Hunter
Yeah.
had either DPS or support. Now they lost support to the Warlocks,
Yeah.
Yep.
and they lost DPS to Warlocks and Titans.
So in trying to democratize the DPS across classes, hunters got the short end of the stick on both
Yeah.
ends.
Oh yeah,
That's
Which
definitely
is-
something that I'd like to see Bungie address
Same.
in the future. Because
that's the thing. Unless a lot of people come forward and
Mhm.
say, "Oh, looking at statistics, looking at the data, etc., my class has hit the bottom. Pay attention to
Yeah.
me."
Mm.
It's not going to happen. Titans, they came out in force. They were just straight up irritated about the fact that they were just bubbles,
yeah,
Mhm.
and now they are rockets, or bowls,
Yep.
or hammers. They can be whatever. Warlocks were sick and tired of just being well. Now they're Goku.
We are Goku.
Goku was nerfed. Actually, yeah, it was nerfed. Goku was nerfed.
Mm.
Before, you could laser through a wall.
Yeah.
Now you can't. But in terms of damage, you're up there. And with the current seasonal activity, your super lasts even longer. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The point being that there's options there for Titans and for Warlocks. You can be a support player. You can be a big DPS. While for Hunter, there's really kind of either you're playing a stasis hunter and trying to rely on your super to keep things locked down and doing it less effectively than the other classes, or you're just waiting for shards to pop up. And
You
that's
just
it.
remind me of something. I
Is
hate
that
it.
why you're wincing?
Yeah. So, after I came back from being completely screwed by work, uh, my friends were like, "Hey, we're gonna take you through a master VOD.
Mhm.
You have to be safe." What?
Oh,
Why?
oh no.
Because supers don't work anywhere else. Gatekeepers. Shy, why are you dying? Aren't you on stasis? No, I'm tethered. But on stasis.
To orbit.
Mm.
It was terrible.
And
Being nothing but stasis was so
yeah.
ah.
That's actually perfect because it kind of bridges a topic of conversation that I wanted to cover with you. So you've done Master Vault of Glass, and you did that experience having to run as a stasis hunter because it was the only utility you could kind of drum up with the hunter class right now. What is the Master Vogue experience like? I haven't done it yet.
Personally,
Mm-hmm.
if you're anything but a hunter, you're having fun.
Yeah.
But as a hunter, because my only leveled up character at that time was a hunter, it's rough.
Yeah.
Because your
Mhm.
tethers don't matter because champions don't care.
They don't.
The wyverns don't care. And any boomer type enemy or sniper type enemy definitely doesn't care.
Yeah.
So unless you're using stasis, you're basically wasting your time as a hunter. So it was like my abilities were useless. I'm just gonna be invisible, or use a
Yeah.
grenade to blind things as much as possible. It was bad. But the moment my other classes level up, it's like, hey, I'm Titan. I can thunder crash this entire area. I can
Yeah.
Nova bomb this area. I can Goku this area. Everything's fine. It's smooth. But Hunter, you're gonna struggle. And also, as a Hunter, be prepared to be at the very bottom of the DPS chart.
Right.
It's painful to see that. You're like, I popped a Goldie. Yeah, so? What do you mean so? Oh, we wiped. My damage is so low.
So
How'd you get over 2 mil?
I just Nova bombed it once or twice.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Farted in its direction, you know.
It's like you're hoping to do damage as a hunter, but you can't. You just can't.
Yeah.
So, what changes would you like to see to the hunter class moving forward?
At
'Cause That's
least raise
that's
up
got to be
the
something
damage.
Bungie's got to bring up.
Like if they don't look at balancing the classes in terms of DPS, people are going to start moving away from their favorite classes because
Yeah.
this is the only option you have. Like it's the same thing as going into a raid when you're brand new to the game. Hey, if you don't have Galhorn, get out of my fire team. Like no,
Boop.
Mm-hmm.
it's basically the same thing. In this
Yeah.
case, it's oh, you are a hunter. Do you have a Titan?
Yeah.
Do you have a Warlock?
Anything
Oh,
else?
Do you have stasis unlocked? Oh, okay. I guess that OPD. Okay. Just make sure you don't waste our time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what? It's the same concept. It's
Right.
sad. It's depressing. We should have the ability to use whatever we want and be equals with our friends, regardless. But the way it is right now, Titan, you're king.
Yep.
Warlock, you're queen.
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Hunters, do you like the jester outfit? Do you
What-
like being a jester?
Whether you do or don't, you're putting it on.
Sorry.
So, yes, I mean, there's a bunch of buffs that need to happen. I think
Mm-hmm.
for Tether, you know, and this it's at times like this where I really miss Aura, because
Yeah.
oh my goodness, he would be ranting and raving right now about changes to Hunter that he would like to see. But I think for Hunter, they could probably get away with some of the things if they reverted a few of the nerfs they did to Tether. That would probably help out with some of the utility there. For Arcstrider, I don't know who still uses Arcstrider, but
I mean-
I across the board, maybe just damage increases.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
the
don't
problem
think
with
you
that
can use
is
it on
it
bosses.
wouldn't work.
Yeah,
That's what it's a problem.
yeah.
Every boss has a stomp.
Stomp.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Can't get close.
The only
Stomp.
reason why Arcstrider worked against, well, let's go back to, as it maybe year 1,
Mm-hmm.
or was it year 2?
It was. I think it was year
Fire
2
Stars.
when you could use your
only
slam
reason-
to negate the.
Yeah, that's the
Ground.
only
Yeah.
reason that worked. We had a well, 5 Arcstriders. That worked. After that, though, good luck finding a hunter that wants to use that. Because stomps equal you're about to die or you're already dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this harder, quote unquote, difficulty. I say quote unquote because it's mainly just light level and not so
Yeah.
much difficulty. Because let's be honest here. Master Vogue is 1350.
Yep.
Majority of the community definitely is nowhere near there.
Right.
So obviously they're feeling more pain because the delta. It's not because they're not skilled.
Yeah.
It's because they're getting hit harder because they're not at the level.
Right.
Yeah. It's one of those things
Versus-
where I'm not even we jumped into Master Vogue on Friday with some folks who were not like at 1340 yet, and we had problems. But I think that like the way that I'm looking at it right now is like I'm just gonna wait until next season
Yeah.
when it's gonna be easier to hit the delta without grinding out a bunch of bounties or other activities that I'm not entirely sold on doing right now.
Right.
That's what's sad. That's what's exactly sad about everything that we do. They bring out these new endgame activity, and you're like, okay, I want that cheer. I want this everything. I want this gun. I want this exotic. Wait, they put it 30 light above me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the big thing there was like a lack of messaging around how they would handle Master Vogue. And it
Mhm.
wasn't so much like if we had known that it was going to be 1350, people may have prepared a little bit differently earlier in the
Right.
season than if they hadn't. But in
That's the
reality,
problem, though.
you're only aiming at like people like us who are who are
Yeah.
like the kind of people who would grind.
Who are going to do
That.
grandmasters and all that kind
Right,
of stuff. Yeah.
right. It's a super niche audience at that point in
Right.
this season. Next season it'll be open up a little bit wider just because you're so close to that delta, and I don't see that going up.
But here's the problem. When they say, oh, the light level goes up by 10, unless it's a seasonal thing, like a big season, that means you're not really able to grind much yourself. You do need those bounty. You do need all that stuff because you can't really force it. We get 15 light for the artifact to get into a GM.
Yep.
For this, though, you needed 30? You needed
Yeah,
double?
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody that's an average player is grinding double the artifact
Not going
just
to
to
happen.
get on Delta.
Right. And like
Not going to happen. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's part of the argument there. I also think if they had released Master Vogue a little bit sooner, you would have seen it wouldn't have the drop off or like in interest maybe
Right.
that it had once it released. Because once it released and the news came out of the Delta, it was like
Oh.
it just kind of killed any ambition I had toward doing it this season.
Actually, it kills a lot more than that, because right now the only reason to do it. And the thing is, it's not even just doing Master Vogue. You have to do Master Vogue with challenge.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're wasting your time being there. Because you can't get the time lost weapons unless you do challenge.
Unless you do the challenge, right?
Mhm.
And what Bungie didn't tell you, if you do it on your main character, this regular Vogue, do the challenge, and then you go to Master and do the challenge, you don't get the time loss weapon.
I mean, they did though. They did say that.
At the very beginning,
They mentioned it the week before it dropped.
Yeah,
when
the week
had
before
their
they
big
dropped.
TWAP talking about it.
Yeah.
It was a one sentence line.
Right.
The
one
TWAP
sentence.
that should have been a bit bigger, in my opinion, and well, shouldn't be a thing, in my opinion.
It shouldn't be.
But
Because if we
they
look
did
at-
mention that.
If we look at Leviathan, you could do both.
Yep.
You could do regular challenge. You can go to the hard mode. Still get the drops.
Yeah.
What happened in the coding?
I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if it's the way they programmed it. But you should not lose out on your master rewards for running the normal Vogue that week. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty unacceptable, and hopefully that would be something that they'd be fixing in season 15.
It's just a confusing decision.
Yeah,
But
it
at the same
don't make
time,
no kind of sense.
they're probably not going to look at it. Because let's be honest here. Every time they bring a new raid out, or a new dungeon, or whatever, the moment that season is done, it's gone. You don't care. Nobody's going to care about Master really, in terms of challenges and all that stuff, after the season's done. Because there's
Well,
some new stuff.
I mean, I'd assume there's going to be some new stuff, but I'm not certain that they're going to be dropping like a new raid or something in season 15.
Right.
I'd imagine, especially considering they're having to artificially extend season 15 out into the new Witch Queen drop date, whenever that's going to be next year.
Mhm.
All they've got is Vault of Glass right now.
Right.
They had better be incentivizing people to continue playing that content.
Yeah. I think that's why we're not going to see a bump in the light level 4 Vault of Glass Master, because it's already out. It's already been shipped. They're not then going to say next month or back in on August 24th, hey, by the way, we increased it. They're not going to say that, because
Just
it's,
to limit
they do.
people
They're gonna
playing
lose
it even
players.
more.
it's a lot easier for them to just ship this product as finished and then work on whatever's coming in Witch Queen.
Mhm.
So like,
Yeah,
it
I
makes
hope so.
yeah, it makes more sense content wise that way. And if we do see a fix for it, it probably wouldn't be until after Witch Queen dropped. But
Mhm.
Vault of Glass always did. We discussed this when it first came out, right? That it was older content dropped in the middle of the year to kind of stretch that
Yeah.
activity, right? Because if
What
they
Bungie's
didn't
gonna
do
be relying on.
if they didn't do something like that, there would be a gap in the activity in the game to keep people interested and invested. So doing that did inspire some activity, and it does push people to grind out at least, normal. Because Fatebringer with a good roll, with like Firefly and explosive payload, is still pretty spicy.
It's good.
Oh yeah.
But it kind of brings back something that we talked about in our previous weeks in relation to Master Vogue, in that what's the real incentive here? So the only avenue of difficulty that they're relying on here is the delta scaling. The enemies are far more powerful than you're used to there. And that's artificial difficulty. It's at a level of difficulty that the current casual player is never going to reach. I've been playing this season somewhat casually, and I think I'm only like 1335 at my absolute pinnacle of light. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way I'm stepping into Master Vogue. And I know there are players far more casual than I am who would never hope to do that. They're not incentivized to go into that content. And the rewards that you get being the time lost weapons on their own, and Shy, I'd be really interested in hearing your opinion. On their own, since you and Dan have both completed Master Vogue, right?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I,
You
I
haven't?
just went in and I was like,
You've
I'm
attempted
good.
it? Right. Okay, so your perspective is going to be perfect here. The time lost weapons are the single reward, basically, that you're going for when you're completing Master Vogue, other than bragging rights. Is that enough of a reason for people to play that content?
If you want me to be straight up and honest on this, no.
No,
Because-
exactly.
Because the time lost weapons, they don't offer us anything except for an extra, actually no, second row of items.
Yeah,
Second row of perks. That's it.
Yeah.
that's it.
Sure, they look shiny, but yeah, you get a second row of perks. That's what the time lost weapons are. It's not like, oh, it does extra damage against Vex, or it
Yeah.
does X, Y, Z. No, it's just okay. So you can now mix and match 4 perks instead of 2,
Mm-hmm.
which in some cases, sure, it's good, but for the average player, they're not going to care enough about that. They're just
Right.
going to care about 2 perks. If they get their 2 perks, that's it.
Yeah.
So a normal run is enough for them.
Yeah.
But Master, yeah, you want the title? Sure. That's Master. That's basically the only reason. And the shit.
Yeah. And
Because
that's
not
my
worth it
point.
otherwise.
That's not enough to entice me to go in there and complete it. That's not enough to get me to want to grind up to 1340 power so that I can go run this slog of inactivity. I've already got a perfectly rolled Fatebringer. I've already
Mhm.
got a decent a perfectly rolled Hezen Vengeance and Corrective Measure and Found Verdict. I'm already terrorizing people in Crucible. I don't need to run this for a time loss version of the weapon that has a different paint job and a second list of perks that I'm not going to use.
Right.
I'm gonna make it worse for you. I'm gonna make it
Hmm.
worse for you.
Okay.
Majority of teams out there have a checkpoint going into the next week for just that encounter
Yeah.
and one for Atheon.
That's
Because
it.
if you do the entire thing, why? You're
Why?
hurting yourself.
Yeah.
So basically, Master Vogue right now is checkpoint farming.
Right.
Right.
Because
And
you're not
that's-
going to do the entire run.
Yeah, and that's I think the sign of content that's not quite as worthwhile to complete as maybe Bungie would hope. Dan, you said you went in there, didn't complete it. How do you feel about it, man?
Like, I kind of wanted to go in just to kind of get a taste of like how hard they smack you. And I think the big my characters on a good day are 1342, right?
Right.
So like I'm within the delta. It's not great. It's not as great as like being on with them, but like I was able to
Yeah.
survive a little bit more than my counterparts who were under 1340. And the big portion of that was like just people not it smacked you around, and I think people were expecting it to be only slightly more difficult than the normal experience, which
Yeah.
isn't the case.
I think.
So
Good.
it was. I don't know.
Honestly,
I just like.
okay,
I
yeah.
just think that like, it's not. Personally, it's not worth it to me to do it this season. It's
Yeah.
unless like they change something about the reward structure where the time lost weapon is implicit with completing something in that raid outside
So
of
that's my
like just
point.
the challenge.
Dan, that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
I actually had a chat with my chat, actually, I think maybe a week ago,
Mm-hmm.
that if they were going to do this kind of thing, they should have done 3 difficulty.
Yeah.
Normal, hard, which would have
Yep.
been maybe 1335, 1340,
Yep.
whatever, and GM, which is the 1350, because let's be honest here. GMs are 1350.
Mm-hmm.
Master Vogue is 1350.
Yeah.
Right.
You're telling people Master is easier, but it's not.
It's not.
Hearing the
No.
word Master, you're thinking, oh, it's not as bad as going into a GM. No, you're literally putting yourself in a GM raid.
Yep.
With 5 other people and expecting people to know the safe spots off the bat, to know this thing hurts more than anything else. They don't know because most people don't do GMs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't know a torch hammer will probably 2-tap you.
Yep.
They don't know a melee will probably take you out. They don't know these things. So they're just thinking, okay, I can just wait here, spawn kill something, it's fine. They don't know that every single ad in there will rip you apart.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, it's on Bungie in this case, because just saying master versus grandmaster, like their wording sense, is the issue here.
Mm.
If they said hard Vogue or something, then people would think more of it.
Yeah.
But just putting people into a 1350 activity and saying, "Oh, you're fine," isn't exactly the way to do things.
Well, who knows? They might rework the reward structure of that raid the same way that they're reworking synth strands.
Oh God.
You mean completely walking back the thing everybody hates?
So here's the thing. So with the synth strand, this is where we go into the TWAB talk, because there's not a lot to talk about in the TWAB. There's like only a couple things. But
We'll blow
like
through.
the synth strand bit where they're going to be removing that middle step, right? Synth weave, which was the
Yeah.
main sticking point for transmog, right? When people were like, that seems super prohibitive because like, and then
It
like,
was.
and then Paul Tossi did like the math. He's like, it's like 5 hours per like bounty,
Yep.
basically to get that thing. They're removing that middle step and allowing you to purchase the bounties with 10k glimmer, which I think is fine. I think that's doable for most people who are who want that those bounty sets and to make transmog armor. I think it's more curious why there's still a limit of 10 after this though.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So like I
players that want
reached the 10 I reached the 10 bits of armor transmog stuff on my Titan. I'm well on my way on my Warlock and my Hunter for that. And I just think that it makes more sense to be
Take away the cap.
Yeah, just do away with the cap. You don't need it.
That's
Do
the
away with
problem.
it. Yeah.
That's the reason why people don't want to even participate in the transmog crap. Because how many armor sets do we have? Do we really have only 50 sets? No, we have a hell of a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So getting 10 sets a season, woo. Oh, new season came out? How many armor sets that's got added to it?
Mm-hmm.
You're not really doing much. The whole 10 set armor crap is like, okay, so I can pick my favorite 10 and then not care.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're going to be able to transmog every single piece of armor ever. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Right.
I do think, well, and we've discussed on this podcast before where that's not really like a thing that's, while it's like, it's fun to theorize, but I don't like everything that comes out. So like,
No.
I don't know. I think the big thing here though is that it is more friendly to your more casual player and not as, I don't want to use the word predatory because like,
I mean, are you wrong?
Well, I don't think it fits here. I think it's like it's more friendly to the casual gamer who might have 10k glimmer instead of 5 hours to do one bounty.
Right.
And I think you still end up purchasing after the 10 pieces of armor, but it's not a requirement. Right?
Right.
You're not. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're not wrong. But when they first started talking about transmog, they were comparing themselves to World of Warcraft and all. And with
Did
WoW,
they?
Coast Sworn, yeah,
I
because people were actually talking about it a bit.
I know the community compared it to World of Warcraft, but I don't know about
I don't know if Bungie
Because
I
said
don't
anything about that in their
yeah.
official capacity.
not only swaps, no, but the word transmog and any other MMO, you have all the options.
Yeah.
Not here is 10 choices.
Mm.
Right.
But the word transmog literally means transformation into wherever you want. Not here's a list. Pick. Like, I don't use transmog. Personally, I don't care. Like, the base stuff is cool enough for me. But
Right.
some, they have like, I don't know why, but they literally have a list of gear combination. Like, I want to wear this on a Monday. I want to wear this on a Tuesday. Like, I get it. You guys are fashionable. My Titan, he looks like a fucking bull. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to look like anything else. But other people, every single day of the week, they have to look something else. I got you. That's why this discussion is for you. For me, don't care.
Well, right. I mean,
Like-
personally, I only have like 1 or 2 looks for each of my guardians. I haven't used up all 10 of the free slots that I've gotten for this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably how it's going to be for most people. I can't think of anybody
Mhm.
out there who's got a ton of different sets that they're looking to transmog here. But still, even with that, I wasn't a fan of the way the synth strand system worked. I didn't like the time gate that they put onto it. I didn't like the fact that you can only really gather it like once every 2 minutes out in the game world.
Yeah.
There was a hard in-game time cap to
It
that.
was worse than that.
It was awful. And it didn't make any sort of sense, especially when you're coming from other MMOs like me personally. Final Fantasy 14, I think, has a great transmog system. Even though it's a little limited in that game too. So I look at this saying, okay, we're going to just get rid of the whole synth strand set and just say, if you've got 10,000 glimmer, you can buy the bounty that gives you synth weave. I think it's a step in the right direction. It's still a mess of a transmog system. It's still not, certainly not as good as it is in other games in that it limits a lot of the things that players have available to them. But I'll take this over having to farm up synth strand to then convert into whatever it was so that you could buy bounties to get synth weave. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's a good step, but just get rid of the cap. That's
Yeah.
what they have to do.
I don't know why there's a cap at all. If like people want to farm out infinite amounts of glimmer to buy infinite amounts of bounties to transmog whatever gear they want, why are you stopping them?
Let them do it. Yeah.
Let them do it. See, it was the same argument I had last week about the change that's coming for Grandmaster Nightfalls because Bungie doesn't want people farming Grandmaster Lake of Shadows anymore. Like,
That
why?
was their fault.
Why? But let them listen. The adept stuff isn't even a guaranteed drop from Grandmasters, which is egregious. If they want to farm the quickest strike in the game, let them. They grinded it up to Grandmaster level light. If they want to farm the 4-minute strike, let them do it. I feel the same way about this. If people want to farm out all of the transmog stuff to their heart's desire, let them do it. Why not? It's just
And
an
that's the
arbitrary
thing
way
that
to make
bugs
people
me.
wait.
Wasn't the whole point of Destiny to play your way?
You'd think.
At Coast Sworn, that was the reason. They're like, oh, play the character you want, play the way you want, enjoy the game the way you. But it's, hey, raids. Be a Titan, be a Warlock. Hey, Crucible. Be a shadow diving hunter. Yeah, I said it. Fight me, chat.
Guys.
Am I wrong?
Mhm.
Nerfed into the
It's like-
ground.
It's not really play your way. It's more like play what is the most beneficial way to you at that point in time.
Hmm.
It's Destiny wasn't like that. It wasn't supposed to be like that. Not the way they explained it, but it's depressing.
Hmm.
Because I play all three characters, and I try to balance them. But when it comes to being just X or Y or Z,
Mhm.
instead of going through the entire alphabet, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's like looking at the exotics too. Like, how many exotics do we have per character?
Mhm.
20 plus? Oh, you only use 2?
Yeah.
Maybe 3? What
So
about the rest of them?
kind of like taking this in for a landing a little bit here before we get into questions. What games do you end up playing when you're not playing Destiny 2?
An assortment of indies, honestly. Like Dead Cells, Friday Night Funkin',
Okay.
any 2D version of a Soul-like game. Like a new one that came out was actually, hold on. Let me see, where is it? Because I was gifted by the company for this one, and I gotta play it soon, and actually put out a review for it. But Lost Epic, that's a new one that came out.
Mm.
It's a Souls-like game too. So basically,
Right on.
pain, suffering. You can build your characters and enjoy the story. Like I like RPGs, I like rhythm, and I like shooters.
Mhm.
But
Dig that.
Destiny was my main thing
Mhm.
because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story when there was story. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch on that. It rubs me the wrong way.
Okay.
Like how we go from one story and then just forget about it
Yeah, that is a
until
big problem.
like 3, 4 seasons.
Mhm.
Like
Like the
You start
strand
a
gets
story-
kind of left.
yeah, and they just forget about it. It's like, oh, we're returning to the Dream City. When did we start that? How long ago?
Mhm.
Eris is still on the moon being haunted, by the way. Nobody's visited
Oh, yeah.
her or cares, but you
I
know,
visited her occasionally. I've said hi. I've let her
Oh,
know that
I-
like
I
that I'm
waved in,
there, and
passing.
if she needs me, she can call me, but she never calls.
Never
Did you
calls.
really say that?
I did,
Did
yeah.
you really?
Mm-hmm. Every time I'm there.
Really?
Yeah, just if you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far.
I was sworn you've been on Europa more.
Well, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Elsa.
How's Rasputin, by the way? Haven't heard from him in a while since he got his off switch hit.
Haven't heard from Fenchurch today.
Oh boy,
I like how those bunkers just vanish.
yeah, it's just gone. Like the doors aren't even there anymore.
Buried in the
Like
deep.
we have incredible gardeners here in the world of Destiny.
Yeah.
They just clean that right up.
Just grows on
Yep,
over.
that's a good question there. Where's the triangle ships?
Yeah.
Where's the pyramids?
There's
vanished.
that's been an issue that I'll 100% agree with. Like they'll just finish a self-contained storyline and then never reference it again. You know, like Steva. Sorry, sometimes I just cough out things that make me mad.
I mean,
But,
they reference it, but not in the game. Just it's
Yeah.
it's in the other lore, which
Right.
thankfully is in the game now, but
Yeah.
is not like not.
It's another thing left in the past.
Yeah.
Although, speaking of things left in the past, one thing that probably should be left in the past is an awful, awful, awful rocket launcher that was a reward for the longest Crucible quest in D1. But that's coming back next season. The Hothead, I think, is going to be dropping as one of the Nightfall weapons next season,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yup.
Hothead and the Comedian are being added to the rotation of D1 weapons,
Yep.
which
For
is
double loot.
double loot, yeah, which is interesting. I like that they're expanding the loot pool there. I don't know why they'd pick the Comedian and the Hothead.
You know, I wish they did.
Hmm.
Not bring back any. Just make a new weapon.
Yeah, new
Mm.
weapons
Make
would
it
be
unique.
nice.
You know, I forgot, and I missed so much. Strike specific loot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I miss looking like I killed something and put it on me. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I
Do
want
a
to
strike.
wear.
Feel
I
like
want to
you
wear
actually killed the
your
boss.
ass as a helmet.
That's exactly how they said it.
Yeah.
They went through explaining all that, hyping up all the players, and then they took that away from us. I want to wear somebody's hat. Oh no, nope. I'm not gonna say the line.
Somebody's
say the
hat
line.
as an ass. Is that what you're about to
Yeah.
say?
Wear the hat
Nope.
as an ass.
Nope.
Put it directly on the
Nope.
ass.
Turn it all the way back
Nope.
around.
There you go.
But I'm definitely tired of strikes being boring.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
Strike specific loot. I mean, I'm glad they're doing specific drops for Nightfalls. It's reinvigorated my desire to actually complete them.
Mm-hmm.
Strike specific loot needs to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's another one of those examples where they had like a perfectly functional system in D1 with skeleton keys, strike specific loot, and all that kind of stuff, and then just kind of tossed it in the waste bin in D2, like when moving into D2, and they didn't need to do that. It's a perfectly functional
look-
system. I don't
yeah,
know why it's
I mean-
not here.
I think
They kind of brought it, and then they kicked it to the side. And I
Yeah,
don't know
because
why.
we had a few strike specific things in like year one,
Mhm.
like that weird double shooting hand cannon,
Mhm.
Warden's Law or whatever.
That would be so nice right now. Like, adapt that, make it actually usable.
Yeah.
Like time payload, that would be 4 hits in one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
I think
See,
going back to like a bit of your talk, Shy, of like using
Mhm.
because they have formulas for things that work, right? For different activities, for different like but like I think maybe sometimes they might get stuck in like, oh, this is new and therefore could like is better. Like a little bit, like
Yeah.
or that it works more toward their economy balancing. But there are systems in Destiny that if they just kind of flattened it out, which we're seeing that they're doing with like the Vanguard and the Crucible and Gambit in there and how those work, like systems where one of the ones that I've thought about recently is like when you go to we have master lost sectors, we have legendary lost sectors. Those things are where you can go and get certain roles or certain exotic armor sets, right?
Yeah.
So you can go and get those there. Those are on a rotation every day, so you kind of know where you know where to go to target for that specific loot.
Yeah.
And like they don't have that really for anything else in Destiny, where they would probably if I were going to add that system anything else, it would be for targeted loot on the pinnacle scale, right?
Ooh. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
on Monday you do a strike and you get like a guaranteed like pinnacle drop on chest, right? And then the next day that moves to Gambit, and after that it moves to Crucible before getting cycled out by the thing that's next to it in line,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you just kind of go down the line. They have these systems that work that would keep people going into them. They just don't implement them across the board.
Yeah. I
no,
agree
you're not
with
wrong.
that. Yeah.
Like,
Completely agree.
My Titan would love that system.
Mm-hmm.
My Titan's suffering. Hi, I need a glove and boot. 1 light each,
Yeah.
please.
So
It's
there
not
definitely there definitely needs to be a more focused targeted pinnacle loot grind in the game right now. And there are other games that do that. The Division does a great job of that. I've sung the praises of the targeted loot system in Division 2 right now for a long time. And Destiny could definitely use that sort of thing because
Right.
everybody can think of an example where it's like, oh, well, I'm trying to get a pinnacle light class item on my Titan. Won't happen for whatever reason. It's just not dropping for me. And I think That would be a huge benefit, just a huge benefit to a lot of the other game modes that are in Destiny right now. If there was a way to target the loot that you could get in there, the pinnacle loot in particular, that's 100% something I think they should look into.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely agree.
But outside of that, we do have a question from chat.
Right on. Let's get to it.
Gray Fox asks, "What are you doing for the lull before the Witch Queen reveal? Also, what Borderlands gun would you want in Destiny?" I think that last
boy.
one's more aimed at me.
Between here and the Witch Queen?
Between now
Honestly?
and the reveal of Witch Queen on August 24th, what are you filling your time with?
Any Friday Night Funkin' mods?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I can do in Destiny with friends, helping some people in the community with GMs and dungeons and such. But mainly F and F.
Hmm.
Mainly F and F.
Yeah.
There's so many. How do I put this? The modding community for that
Mhm.
game is insane. Like, you can sometimes say it's an entirely new game, but it's a mod for the game. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
these people are beyond talent. And actually, yeah, some of them are like actual pro
Yeah.
designers, scripters, voice actors. Like, they go hard. And it's surprising. And then I come back to this.
Mm.
It's not like I don't love the game.
Mm-hmm.
I do. It's just I don't like doing the same activities over and over.
Right.
Example. Hi, Solstice. Looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, most people that didn't play in year one, you can tell. Straight up, you can tell. Because they don't know that high level version of Solstice versus now. Yes, let's be in the aerial zone. Shoot the same shit over and over again. Versus, here's all the story missions, all revamped. Harder.
Yeah, that was the first Solstice.
I miss the Russian doll servitor.
Mm-hmm.
Kill that servitor. Oh my god, there's 8 more servitors.
More
I miss that. Because that was death. For a solo at the time, that was death. Because you're like, oh, I killed the servitor. Everything's fine. Oh, you're surrounded by mini servitors, all shooting. No. But yes, let's just use jump pads, look for treasure chests over and over again. I can't do it. Just like I can't do Iron Banner.
Mm.
I can't do it.
Oh boy.
Like, I said it earlier. I was going to say it sooner or later. I'm saying it now. Iron Banner. I'm sorry. I can't touch that shit. It's not that I don't like Iron Banner. I loved it. I loved it when we had 7 different types of Iron Banner. Doing Control for 3 years will drive you insane.
It sucks.
Like, yes, I'm definitely doing something new. Yeah, I'm still controlling a point. Versus Iron Banner Clash, Iron Banner Mayhem, Iron Banner Control, yes. Iron Banner Zone Control. There was so many Iron Banner.
Iron Banner Rift.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Rift.
I will say
I missed that.
Barry has a version of Iron Banner that we all haven't talked about. Drunk Iron Banner.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the best Iron Banner because it's the one you don't remember after you're done.
Right.
Nope. Gray Fox brought it up. Supremacy Iron Banner was also good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, there was multiple types. This being Control is...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the game modes that most needs a revamp. Just put in different stuff. I'm sick of playing Control in Iron Banner. Done
And
with that.
they don't change armor.
Yeah.
They don't even change armor. Same
Armor in
armor.
D1 Iron Banner was way better.
Yeah.
The wolves. You went for that armor. You love that armor. You cherish that armor. Now it's like, oh, I got the roll. I don't care anymore. Put something else on top of it.
Yep, just checking the stats. And then transmog it to something else.
Right.
Right.
What?
That's what happens to all the gear now. Look for the stat. Look for the fact that you can use the current seasonal mods. And you're good.
Mm.
You don't care about the looks. Because you're going to change it anyway. Lord Saladin would be... Exactly! Gray's right.
Yeah, he would want a variety of modes to keep us busy.
It's because he was an Iron Lord.
Mm-hmm.
He would want to put you through the paces. He would want to make you harder,
Mm-hmm.
stronger, faster. Okay, guys, your job is to protect this point. Can you actually hear him say that? Only protect this point over and over again.
Yeah.
He want you to test yourself,
Right.
Right.
but he doesn't get that choice.
Right. TBL.
Sucks.
What about you, buddy? What would you?
Well, you know, the things I've been covering my time with has been, as of late, a lot of ESO, playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, and I guess mentally preparing myself for Final Fantasy XIV's next expansion, Inwalker, which is going to be dropping in November, I do believe.
So you're
So-
gonna be a Reaper?
Maybe. It's going to take a lot to drag me off a Black Mage again.
Wow.
We'll see. Yoshi P seems to be excited about it, so that dude is the champ. I trust in him.
Oh man. See,
I have to grow my inner weed back out.
I just downloaded that on my PlayStation. I might have to start.
Welcome.
I might have to start soon.
Like
Slowly,
Yeah.
slowly, my
I was
entire
hearing
entourage
you.
of friends are joining me in Aorta. I've been here since 2014. Everyone's going to join me.
okay, I gotta ask this question though.
Mhm.
On PlayStation, would you be able to control all those abilities, or would PC be the only option?
I mean, if I kick
I-
my PS5 hard enough, I'm sure it'll happen.
I used to play on PS4, and it was fine. It was fine. I've moved over to PC since, but it was fine when I was on PS4.
Y'all. I've been so. I think my time in between will be. There will be 2 games that I'm going to play between now and August 24th. I downloaded Death's Door because I saw a video on it and it looked super cute, and the entire story about that game is interesting. Where it's like 2 people developed it essentially.
Yeah.
Outside of people who like, I think there were other people who might have given them like some models and everything, but essentially 2 people designed it and put it out, and it's this game about. It's kind of like a Soulsborne light game.
Right.
Where you're a crow going around attacking things, but it's like an isometric angle. It just looks real cute. The entire aesthetic is kind of fun. The bosses are very unique, and I've been enjoying my time with that. And Borderlands, I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 3 lately. Like when I'm not on stream, when I'm not in the thick of it, I'm normally playing Borderlands 3 on my Zane, trying to finish up the story on Steam.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Gray Fox asked, what Borderlands 3 gun would you want in? Because there's one. Oh boy. For all those
dear.
people who love Last Word, I might have to give Last Word a try. In Destiny 2. Because if it's anything like the Flood, it's I think I'll be pretty good with it.
Just don't try it in PvE.
I won't. Dude, So there's this gun called the Flood, and it just fires so fast. Like, it's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it has straight up and down recoil. And it's just so dumb.
I need to get back on Borderlands 3. I haven't played in forever.
Everything, it's basically all out now. So,
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
can jump in and just go for broke on it. It's really, really fun.
Gonna have to give it another shot. A couple of my buddies are real big into Borderlands 3 and have been pestering me.
Heck yeah.
about, like, no, they just released a bunch of other stuff and they revamped a bunch of things.
Yeah.
They're different now. Get back in it.
It's crossplay now,
Man.
too.
Yeah, that was the big thing. Everybody's doing that. And it makes
Yeah.
me happy.
Yeah, it's the future of gaming.
Absolutely. Every company needs to adopt it.
Yeah. Hear that, Sony?
Off. Tony, off.
Choke, Sony choke.
But yeah, I think that's what's going to get me through, and that's the weapon that I'd like to see in the game. Like, I would like to see the Flood versus the Last Word
Okay.
to see who came out on top, because it is real dumb how quickly it goes.
Right on. I'm glad you're getting that looter shooter itch scratched right on up there by the kings over at Gearbox.
There's also so many like really dumb references to Destiny in Borderlands 3. It's so good.
You can tell they played.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Was that it for the questions then?
Yeah.
I was looking for more.
Right on. I do believe that brings us to the end of episode 286 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been a pretty good one. I think we got a lot of conversation in. I wasn't expecting to talk so much about Master Vogue, so I'm real glad that we had Shy on to talk about it, because you confirmed how I felt about it. No need to go in there quite yet. But it was great having you on, man. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic having you here. You're probably the funniest demonic AI I've ever encountered, and I played Pony Island.
Oh, no. I know that game all too well.
That's a shout out there for the indie game fans in the audience there.
I'm flying.
Hey, now it looks like Pony Island.
I'm flying. No.
The
Okay.
joys of VTubing.
Oh
Oh yeah.
But again, thanks so
Oh,
much for
the
joining us tonight. It was fantastic having you here.
It was great having me. But I also need some souls. I was promised souls to Dan.
Well,
right.
we're about to
I
give
guess
you
so.
your opportunity, because right now we're going to turn the floor over to you to allow you to let everybody know where they can find you across the internet and, deposit those souls. Do you take, like, EBT cards?
Oh, no.
No
Debit.
swipe for the EBT?
Always
Debit only.
debit.
Okay. This man's
Debit
here for
only.
security.
Yep.
He's
I mean-
like, no, none of that government stuff.
I'm not letting anybody find me. What do you mean?
It's been-
He
Only
lives
thing
for
I need in hell.
anonymity.
the only thing
I may be in hell.
a demon AI is afraid of is the government, the IRS.
That's
Like, I mean,
that's the true
don't
reason.
tax my souls. Like, what do you want from me? I want
Anyway,
a
it's
1-to-1 ratio here, not a 25%. No. I want all that soul.
Good to know. No taxing souls here. You pay the whole price.
But yes, you guys can find me over on Twitch. Hi. Actually, you saw me in chat right there. At twitch.tv/ShionayGaming. I enjoy hurting people. I'm kidding. I'm nothing but cute, adorable laughter. And lots of hugs and kisses. Don't worry about anything else I've done. Or anything that my friends will say. Or peers will say. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Or they're telling you the truth. Wow! I see you, Inkle. I'm innocent. I'm Angel. I'm cute, adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I hug people. A little too hard. They squeeze. They pop. and then they fall over. And
On to the next hug.
Yep.
yeah,
On to the next hug.
Right on. Again,
please chastising me.
great to have you on tonight. It's been a lot of fun having you here.
Thank you.
Right on,
Yeah.
right on. After that, Dan, where you at, man?
Oh, hi! My name's Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and the TikTok at Danfinity, where the eyes are else. Or you can find me walking around my house just aimlessly while Jenny's gone on vacation. You can also find me on Twitch 3 days a week, twitch.tv/Danfinity, where I'll be playing some Destiny 2. And I will also be playing some Borderlands 3, probably on stream, because that is where my joy is right now. And other than that, you hop in my Discord. The Discord has like a lot of wonderful folks in there, and I just spent a lot of time today adding a bunch of roles to the thing. So hopefully,
Oh no.
look, man, it took me a long time to put in all those roles for GMT plus and minus.
Oh
I
my.
did that today.
This man went time zone.
I did.
Congratulations.
I added roles for individual activities so that people can call those up rather than the platforms after crossplay comes. I did all sorts of stuff.
Right on there, and I feel you there with Jenny. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Dude, I just
Now
look
you
like
feel
Pablo Escobar, just standing in my pool, sitting on a swing,
Waiting.
looking
And
at
waiting.
the table, just waiting.
You know, a box of chocolate with you too.
Mm. Right on. And of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. This week, actually gonna have some time for some live streams. And when we do, we'll probably be playing Destiny. It'll be it's that time of season where I gotta get caught up on the Hunter and on the Titan, so I'll probably be getting caught up on those, playing, Pinnacles and all that kind of nonsense. As for the Destiny news videos, y'all know, they pop up on the Planet Destiny YouTube channel at youtube.com/Planet Destiny. Anything we learn about any sort of upcoming content will be going there. But alright, everybody, that is it for episode 286 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your guide to This Week in Destiny. We'll see you all here, same time, same place next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Catch you all later.